This is KVUE News at 5.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Terry Gruca.
And I'm Mike Rush.
We begin tonight with breaking news. A federal grand jury indicts Texas State Senator Carlos Uresti in two separate cases. In the first, the San Antonio Democrat and two other men are accused of developing an investment Ponzi scheme to market hydraulic fracturing sand for oil production. The second case involves Uresti and another man. They're accused of conspiring to pay and accept bribes in order to secure a Reeves County Correctional Center medical services contract. Uresti is expected to make his first appearance in San Antonio court tomorrow.
Breezy and muggy, the moisture on the increase out ahead of a storm system that will allow for some showers and thunderstorms overnight and for the morning commute for tomorrow. All quiet though right now. Max Storm Doppler radar, just scattered cloud cover with 70s and 80s on the map. We're going to be watching our western sky here overnight. Already some thunderstorms firing in the Panhandle. Active tornado warnings to the east of Amarillo. Storm chasers keeping an eye on some of those thunderstorms to the east of Amarillo. A rotating wall cloud, sometimes the precursor to a tornado. So we'll keep an eye on that over the next several minutes. Breezy, muggy, and warm this evening. The best chance of thunderstorms in Austin will be sunrise tomorrow, and two other opportunities, and maybe even some strong thunderstorms Thursday afternoon and again on Saturday afternoon. Much more on that. Your full forecast is coming up.
Looks like an ominous cloud there. Albert, thanks so much. New at 5, the New York Times is reporting President Donald Trump asked then FBI Director James Comey to shut down the investigation into former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. The Times cites a memo written by Comey himself shortly after the February meeting with President Trump. The president has since fired Comey from his FBI post. The Times calls this the clearest evidence that the president tried to directly influence the investigation into links between his associates and Russia.
President Trump and his White House, meanwhile, are defending the reported release of highly classified information to top Russian officials. The president's national security advisor will not go into detail, but says the Oval Office conversation was wholly appropriate. As ABC's Kenneth Moten explains, lawmakers and U.S. allies are demanding answers.
President Trump,
did you reveal classified information to the Russians, sir?
Repeatedly asked as he hosted Turkey's president.
No comment on whether you shared classified intelligence with the Russians.
The White House downplaying the Washington Post report that Trump told Russia's foreign minister and ambassador highly classified intelligence about an ISIS plot in Syria. Trump, who tweeted that it was his absolute right to share facts pertaining to terrorism, finally offering this on-camera response.
We had a very successful meeting with the foreign minister of Russia, and we want to get as many to help fight terrorism as possible.
The president's national security advisor says he did not jeopardize national security or hurt intelligence relationships with allies. An official briefed on the matter tells ABC News the sensitive intelligence came from Israel.
It's wholly appropriate for the president to share whatever information he thinks is necessary to advance the security of the American people.
Mixed reaction from Republicans.
I'm going to wait until I get a briefing from a secured briefing on it before I make any statements.
GOP Senator John McCain called the reports deeply disturbing. Democrats are demanding to see a transcript of the meeting.
If it was unwitting, that would be pathetic and dangerous. If it was intentional, that would even be, I don't know what's worse.
The House Intelligence Committee already had a briefing on the books with the director of the CIA today, but more members of Congress want to hear from the White House on what was said in Trump's meeting with the Russians. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, Texas Senator John Cornyn saying thanks but no thanks to heading the FBI. He was one of 8 candidates who interviewed for the director's job over the weekend, but today he told the White House he wants to stay in the U.S. Senate instead. If he had gotten that job, it could have caused a major political shakeup both in Washington and in Texas.
In less than an hour, we're expecting an update on several investigations underway at the Austin Independent School District. KVUE's Tina Shively has been following these stories for us. She's live now at AISD's Performing Arts Center. Tina?
Well, Terry, the recent accusation of sexual assault by a teacher at Boone Elementary School will likely be a topic discussed here tonight. Today, the district telling parents by letter this afternoon that the teacher will be back in school next Monday. Now, school officials will also say they will be on hand at the school on Thursday evening for a parent meeting for parents who have any questions about that. And you may remember District Attorney Margaret Moore closed that case at Boone Elementary last week, saying there was, quote, insufficient evidence to pursue criminal charges. Now, the case drew criticism from parents because Austin ISD police closed the case in February without first reviewing the girl's full medical report. And we're also told there will be a new training initiative unveiled for staff tonight. We will have the very latest for you on the Night Beat. Reporting live at Austin ISD's Performing Arts Center, Tina Shively, KVUE News.
City and county leaders from across Texas are ready to take legal action against the state over the so-called sanctuary city ban. They held a rally outside the Capitol today. KVUE political reporter Ashley Godot was there, and she joins us now live. And Ashley, they say the newly signed law is unconstitutional.
Exactly, Mike, and these leaders say they are planning a summer of resistance. Chanting the motto, "Yes, we can," in Spanish, the group of city leaders from Austin, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and other Texas cities say they will put their legal resources together to fight SB 4. It requires all law enforcement honor ICE detainers, and elected officials who don't comply can be removed from office and face criminal charges. The day after Governor Greg Abbott signed the bill into law, Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit against the city of Austin, their council, asking a judge to declare SB 4 constitutional. Now Texas cities are vowing to work together to prove it isn't.
If the goal of that lawsuit was to intimidate our council, they know very little. He knows very little about our council. This Thursday, we are poised to approve a resolution that directs our city legal team to take any legal action necessary to challenge this awful law.
Next week on the Dallas City Council, we will be discussing intervening in the case, coming to the aid of Austin. We have a large city attorney's office. We have lots of legal resources.
And the fight, La Lucha, the fight is now in the courtroom, and San Antonio stands shoulder to shoulder with Texas cities in that fight.
Hampers our ability to protect our citizens.
Now, Travis County Judge Sarah Eckhart and a Houston City Council member also voiced their support. A commissioner from El Paso County announced yesterday their commissioner's court voted to sue the state of Texas over SB 4. And Lawyers for America say they will represent any public official facing prosecution because of SB 4 pro bono. Live at the Capitol, Ashley Godot, KVUE News.
That's to follow up on. Ashley, thank you. Meanwhile, lawyers for Attorney General Ken Paxton have asked an appeals court to oust the judge overseeing his criminal case. That's according to our partners at The Statesman. The emergency petition was filed late last night. The lawyers are also trying to get a Thursday hearing canceled. The appeal seeks to avoid the change of trial venue in Houston and move it back to Collin County, where it was initially set to take place. Paxton is charged with securities fraud.
New at 5, Pflugerville police have arrested and charged a man in the city's first murder of the year. 18-year-old Robert Uribe is accused of killing 20-year-old Jose Martinez. It happened last Wednesday at the 1825 apartments. Police found Martinez shot in the parking lot. He died from those injuries. Investigators connected Uribe to a robbery at a Round Rock 7-Eleven near Gaddis School Road and Double Creek Drive. Police also identified and arrested Mackenzie Marzette and Anthony Reinholtz as suspects for the 7-Eleven robbery. And investigators linked Marzette to a shooting at the Red Hills Villas in Round Rock on May the 11th. 2 people were shot. 1 is still in critical condition in that case. Police say the crimes are both drug and gang related.
Nearly a dozen young students were injured at a school in Houston after a science project exploded. Houston Fire Department say the experiment outside had a flash blast. 12 students were hurt, 11 of them suffering burns. 1 was trampled. 6 students were taken to the hospital, and all of those involved were there for a little while. There is no word, 3 years old. There's no word on what type of experiment the children were conducting or what chemicals were being used.
Well, we've all played dodgeball back in school, kind of a rites of passage. So how students made the game special for one of their classmates coming up.
And why tennis star Andy Roddick is running all over Sam's Club.
You're watching KVUE, where trust is earned.